Hello, Craig Thompson Wood back again for more Space Station Zero. It's been a while since I've done this, but that's, as I said earlier, if in case you hadn't seen it, with the update, the monthly update, I was just saying that I was getting my focus pulled in too many directions with doing the Duel of Ages and the Space Station Zero at the same time. So I was finished off the Duel of Ages first, and now I'm going to focus on Space Station Zero for this month. So hope to get in a bunch of games of Space Station Zero in the next few weeks. And sort of getting started here. But hopefully my nerds survive the this mission because it's actually quite a tough one. So if you didn't remember where they left off, so they first did the first mission where there was the live wires and some mutants and things, and they took care of that. And then from there went through a door where they went to a room with a virus bomb. Managed to defuse that and take out the enemies that were there. Now they've fallen through the floor, so it's a point of no return. They can't go back now. I don't know how common that is, right? This is my first time playing, but now I'm in a mission called the Weapons Locker, which sounds exciting, except for the fact that, of course, the Weapons Locker is heavily guarded. There's these guard drones that are heavily armored and wielding advanced weaponry, so that's exactly what nerds love to hear. So, yeah, maybe we can challenge the drones to a math contest or something. Yeah, so if my nerds survive this, then we'll see what goes on. But you know what I'm thinking is this at least will be a chance to see what the injury tables and those kinds of things are like, because so far we've come out of it unscathed. Like nobody went out of action. We took some big damage, but you always heal up between missions for the damage. Now another thing I'd like to show is I put this together just to make it easier for me to follow things. So I put the crew with their edges. I'm not doing secondary agendas in this, but so it has all the things here just for some easy reference. I will include a link to this. I've already made sure that the link is shared to anybody who has the link. So if you would like to use this in your games, it's just a nice, easy way to have everything in one location, easy to see. I was thinking too, maybe I should have put some more notes in there about what exactly these things do, but we can get to that. What was one thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah. One thing, too, is the XP. So having successfully completed 2 missions, all the regular crew gets 2. The captain gets 1 for each mission, plus 1 if they survive the mission. So he's got 4. But nobody's at the point yet where they can level up. And there's been no bonus XP for any of the missions, so they're just still here. I was actually kind of looking at it, oh, well, hey, maybe I can level up and get some better stats and things and have a chance at this mission, but no. So we're just going to have to deal with what we've got and go with that. So let me get the board set up. So on page 44 of the rulebook here, it has this thing for random terrain generation. The mission itself has no specific terrain. So it just says for this that you're just putting things down to based on the rules here. So you roll once for each quadrant. So let me get this out of the way here, and well, anyways, this is, that's a 12. Wasting my good rolls. And that's wasting my good rolls indeed. It's a 10. Whoops. And another 10. Oh my God. Watch, I'm going to roll nothing but 2s and 3s to attack these. And an 11. Do you believe that? My lowest dice on 4 was a 10. That's crazy. Man, I hope these dice still work this good during the game. All right, so for 12... that's going to be 2 pieces of terrain and D3 pieces of small terrain. The bay seems to be a weapon storage unit. There are racks of weapons of all types and sizes along the walls, the armaments of dozens, perhaps hundreds of alien species. Most of these weapons do not seem to have fared well over the intervening centuries since their deposit. In the center of the room, there are 4 large bays, each full of what looks like fully autonomous drones. As you enter, the drones wake up, and as though it looks like most of the weapons may be useless, their guardians are not. So the terrain is set up as per the map. So it says here you have this, these are the areas where the drones are going to be set up, and then we have the terrain which we have. So let me get that in place. And here we have it. This is going to be my setup for Space Station Zero, the Weapons Locker, mission number 13. So there are spoilers in this, I guess, because if you are playing through, remember, you're not necessarily going to have the same experience I'm having, where you're going to play the same missions and everything. I kind of took some liberties with things because it was just so many pieces of terrain. So I just try and pack some stuff on there. Want to use some cool terrain. I haven't used some of this big stuff in a while. If you hear that buzzing in the background too, that's my 3D printer back again. Yay! Was very very happy about that again. So there we have one of the guard drones. What are they called? One of the guards. There's another one there, one up there, and one back there. So I tried to spread them out a bit, you know, like they're guarding all the points and everything. Also just trying to think too where the nerds would have taken advantage of where they maybe have like a gap in their routes that they're walking and things, so they're going to try and take advantage of that. I also thought, you know, I looked at this up and it was had the question to myself, like what happens like if I just want to lure them in, because they're far less deadly in hand-to-hand combat than they are in ranged. So I thought maybe that's what I want to try and do, get them into hand-to-hand combat. But the rules talk about what to do if they don't have a ranged weapon, what they do have a ranged weapon, but they don't say what to do. Like if they only talk about what the you know, what to do if you don't have, if you don't have line of sight. To get to the point, they don't say what to do if the models do not have line of sight but do have a ranged weapon. Right? They talk about if you don't have line of sight and don't have a ranged weapon, or if you do have line of sight and you do have a ranged weapon, but they don't say what to do if you don't have line of sight and you do have a ranged weapon. So I'm just going to assume, I'm going to go with the default of they're going to just move to the closest enemy, right? And just take it at that. So I have Heroku, the soldier, there, and the rest of the nerds are all huddled in there. The idea being that I want them unseen by anything. So that's what I'm going to count them as, is hiding right now, because I have no intention of trying to take these guys on in, you know, with shooting. Okay, so to that end, I'm going to be a little bit cheesy here, and I'm just going to say that the nerds are just passing their first turn, right? So we're going to go with Grioki. So what I'll do here, I'm going to put this sheet down here, and to know who's gone, I have 6 blue dice. So I'll put a dice on Grioki now to show that he has gone. Right? That's going to help me to remember who is gone, who has not gone. So Grioki's gone, and he's just choosing to pass his turn. So then initiative, I believe we do get initiative, so then we'll go with Oguna. Oguna doesn't even have a weapon, so... And then, of course, we get initiative. And then Deirak. I'm at 12 now. No, okay, so now we don't get initiative. So the drones are going to go, the guard drones, and so the closest one to the enemy would be this one down here, which is close to Heroku. And so he is going to move his double movement. Now, the drones move. They move a mighty 5 inches, so he's going to go take 10 inches of movement. So the first 5, let's just put this down here where we can see it. There we go. We got a lot of, we got both of them in there. So 5 inches would take the drone up to here. So not even coming up to the edge here, not quite getting the line of sight on Heroku. Luckily, I didn't realize that they were so fast. So then we'll use the second movement to put himself... Well, you know, they do have ranged weapons, so they would prefer, I would say they would prefer that. So we will put him, you know, just come around the corner and stop as soon as he sees Heroku. Okay, so now we're back to, and I will then put this red cube next to this drone to show it that it has activated. And now we'll go on to Heroku. So I'm just going to simply here charge in with Heroku. I'll charge in over here. This way it's going to give me cover from any firing shots from that one over there. So going back, here we go. So Heroku has a combat score of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Heroku has a melee weapon. And with the melee weapon then getting 2 bonus dice, Heroku is going to be rolling 6 dice against this drone. And we get... Now there's only 2 successes here, because even though there's a 7, sorry, a 2, and it's all, remember, it's all even numbers are going to count as hits, but the drones have an armor of 8, which means that I need to roll higher than 8 in order to hit. But now, as Heroku is a combat specialist, I'm allowed to re-roll 2 dice, so I'll just leave that 2 out of it. Put those over there. So I have a 10. Oh, an 11 doesn't hit. I mean, evens. So I have 2 10s. So I only have 2 hits on the drone, and the drone gets 4 combat dice plus 1 for it being for its close combat weapons, but it gets plus 4 for the range weapons, which is part of the problem. So now Heroku has a 4 armored jacket, giving him 4. The nerds have tooled it up to make it 2. So that's it's only going to be 1 success from the drone, which means then that the drone suffers 1 damage because you take the difference in close combat. You take the difference of the attacks, but the drones also have an ability with their heavy armor that they ignore the first point of damage that would be given to them during a single combat challenge test. So that was it. Not a great start. I was hoping Heroku could do something to this thing, and they have 8 health each, these things. So, like I'm saying, I'm not particularly hopeful here. And let's see if we can maintain the initiative. We do not. Okay, so let me put a blue there on the Heroku. We go on to the next. So that would be the drone up here, as is, because it's going to move up to here, and then fire down at Heroku. So now the Heroku is getting cover. So being in cover is giving him plus 2 to his armor. So that's going to effectively give him an armor of 8 now. So the drone has 4 combat, plus 1, 2, 3, 4 dice for the ranged weapon. It's an integrated fusion ion cannon. And that's 1. Oh, no, that 6 doesn't count. Because so actually there's only 2 hits. Oh, that's not too bad. Because there's a couple 6s here, but they don't count because of the armor and the thing. So thankful to the nerds and the cover, that has saved him. So, well, saved him, quote unquote. Let's see what he does with his combat result to resist the shot. 1, 2, 3, 4 combat, and he gets 2 successes. That covers the 2 wounds that went through. So he's okay. So now we go back to the scientists, and let's see, we have Iskar, the leader, and Kroknuk, the chief scientist. And I'm kind of looking at this thinking now that, yeah, I'm just remembering, like, if I lose a round of combat to these things, then I take the difference in wounds that way. So it's quite a spicy proposition. So let's where's Iskar? So Iskar is going to, let's see, he's got a movement of 4. So 4 inches. He's going to come down here. So hide behind that pipe there. Yeah, hide by the pipe there. And he's going to shoot the one that's fighting with Heroku. So he has a combat of 3. And he's got only 1 success because he rolled a 6, but the it's an 8 or higher result needed on the dice to pass. And then the drone gets 4 dice, and yeah, he's saved it. Well, even with 1 success, if he didn't save it, it wouldn't matter because he's going to ignore the first damage every round. So now can Kroknuk go? That's cocked. No, Croaknuck's not going. So we'll move this guy 5 inches. He's just going to come to the thing here, do a little rendition of Romeo and Juliet, and shoot down at Croaknuck. So I think, same applies when you look at it from this way. You see that Croaknuck does have cover from the crate, and so we'll grant him that. So it's 4 plus 4, needing 8s, and evens, only evens counts. We have 1, just 1. Wow, out of all, there's actually 2 even numbers, but the 2 and the rest are all odds. Okay, so Croaknuck is facing 1 wound with 4 combat, and he saves it. He is fine. So then we'll go with Croaknuck, and Croaknuck is going to just peek around the corner there, and again, same as the others, shoot his sidearm at the lead drone there. The thing is, I think with this mission is, sorry, I'm talking about it, but so he's poking his head out there, just shooting there. It's just take out 1 drone at a time. We can't split your fire. It has to be just remove 1. That's all you can do. So he's going to fire, and he gets 1 success, which I'm not even going to bother rolling for because the robot always ignores the first wound. And then for the last one, so he'll go, let's see, he's at the back, so maybe climb up and move across. So he's just going to be in a sniping position, so the drones are just going to start wailing down on there, but at least we have Croaknuck in the best position. And that will be it for the turn 1. On to turn number 2. So for turn number 2, I think the only thing forward is just to rinse and repeat. I think Heroku is our best chance here to do some real damage with his melee weapon. So he's going to do just that. So let's get some space here and put that here. There we go. And so Heroku has 4 combat, plus 2 for the, we'll put the 2 in here, 2 blue dice. All right, so he's rolling 6 dice against the drone. And I always get hopeful when I see, oh, I did it, yeah. I said I always see hopeful when I see a 12. There's 2 12s here. That means that's a crit. So there's 1, 2, 3 hits, because there's a 6 here, but that doesn't count. But let's re-roll 2 dice as allowed by his combat specialist ability. Oh, and we get 2 more hits. Let me just confer exactly what that means. Well, that's really exciting, because that's when you have 2 12s in a roll like that, the only way now the drone can save this is if the drone rolls 2 12s in their roll. But even still, that's and then the hits count as double. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hits. This could kill the drone in one shot here. You could just knock this thing's head clean off. That would be fantastic. So let's see what the drone says about that. So we have 10 potential hits. The drone is then rolling, and no, 2, 7, 1, 7. Only 1 success in there. There's no crits. So that's it. Just like that, Croaknuck has just batted this thing's head right off, clean off, and that's 1 drone of 4 down. Just leaves the other 3. Honestly, I didn't expect. I mean, I guess you can't really count on crits, but I have to say that was pretty damn impressive. All right, let me roll for the initiative. So as I was saying that the dice roll for the drone there was for its armor, but it actually wasn't for its armor, because it was a close combat. And so in close combat, it works a little bit differently. And so that was Yeah, the only thing it rolled was a 2, and that doesn't even count as a success against Kroknuk because of the Kroknuk's armor. It wasn't Kroknuk, sorry, Heroku. And then that means 2. So Heroku did 10 damage, -1 for the drone's shield ability, leaves 9 damage, and it only had 8 health. It only starts with 8 health, so that was it. So anyway, so let's go on now to initiative, and it's a 12. So yes, this team science is going to maintain the initiative, and what we'll do then is I think we'll take Iskar, the leader here, has a clean shot up to the. Iskar has a clean shot up to this drone up. Where's my finger? There, over there. That's just gonna shoot that guy. All right, so let's pull out the dice. So Iskar has a combat of 3. He rolled 1 success, so that's I'm not gonna bother rolling anything with that because that's just no point. Okay, and maintain initiative on a 10. Yes, we do. Wow, that's 2 12s. I gotta save these dice for the nerds. Those are great dice. We will go with Kroknuk, and Kroknuk is going to. So he can move 4. Just want to be careful. So I'm just looking at my nerds here. I'm gonna have to just get a line of sight bearing from that guy down there. If he can shoot those guys, I need to start getting them out of the way. Yeah, from this angle, I think the drone can see into there, so I'm gonna have to move those guys out of there because I don't want them getting shot up. But then I'm remembering now that the enemy reaction chart table says that they always shoot at the closest model that they can see, not the closest model that's not in cover. So Heroku is still the closest to be seen. So I'm just going to go with Kroknuk, the chief scientist, and firing his weapon at that one on the bridge there, out in the open, and he rolls, well, technically 3 successes under normal circumstances, but given that these guys have 8+, that's only 1 hit, and again, not even going to bother rolling defense because they always ignore the first damage. And so the initiative roll on a 12 again. No, that's a 3, so that is new. We can move on to the drones. So closest drone to closest enemy is that one up there to Heroku. So we've done this dance before. It is 4 plus 4, so it's 8 dice. 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't want to use those blue and black ones. They've been rolling hot tonight. 6. Well, I think I have to. 7, 8. All right, so we have a 1, 8. Wow, we only have 1 12. So we have 2 hits because we have an 8 and a 12. Everything else is either odd or too low. So that's only 2 hits on Heroku. He gets 4 defense, or 4 combat, and he makes 2 saves. 4 and 10. So he takes no damage. Back to the scientists. And let's see. I do actually think what I'm going to do is, let's see, Dirac. Dirac is going to just run. This is where it gets a little tricky. Let's push him out that way. Okay. So Dirac is coming out from down there, and he's going to come running around to here. So I've measured it, pre-measured that, and it is fine. The others are still hiding underneath there. So Croaknut got bumped, so he's poking out there. So Dairek's just going to start making his way around this way. I'm going to start thinking making a move in this direction. Try to just seek some different ground here as different cover. I want to make sure everybody is going to be well hidden in future turns. Then rolling for initiative. No. So the drones are going again. So rinse and repeat. We will then activate. I dare say this one up top here is closer, even though this one, just because it's the straight down, I'm not going to do my Pythagorean theorem to figure that one out right now. Just go with it. Doesn't really make too much difference. So we are shooting at Heroku. So that's 4 plus 4. And that is, wow, the armor's really coming in handy, especially with the cover and the armor tuning from the scientists. So yeah, 2, 6, 7, 5, 11, 4. So only 2 hits again. So only 2 hits, and Heroku rolls 4 in defense and gets 2 saves, 6 and a 12. So again, no damage. He's just weathering the storm. Super tough. All right. So gone. It's Dairek went. Okay. So next up, we are going to activate. Who is that down there? That's Oguna. So Oguna is the one, he's closest to the enemy up here, so he's most in the open. So he's going to do exactly what Dairek did and end up back here. Okay, so going for a double move. That's where he ends up. And now on to the initiative. 7 plus. Nope. So the last enemy gets to go, which is Juliet over here. So Juliet is going to shoot at Heroku. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll reroll that one. Okay, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 7, 11, 10. So out of all that, only 1 hit, because again, Heroku is currently sitting at an 8 plus armor. So only 1 potential wound. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, he's got 2 8s in there, so that saves it. So it's then, we have Ryoki and Iskar, the 2 to go. So this is it. The drones are all gone. The guard drones are all gone. And this is what I was hoping for too, is like, when you start taking out 1, then the others, it just becomes that much more of a relief. So yeah, so let's do this. So we have Ryoki and then Oguna. No, Ryoki and Iskar. So Ryoki is down in here, and the leader Iskar still can shoot up to there. So let's just start off with Ryoki, get him out of there and over to here with his pals. Again, getting everybody out of line of sight as much as possible. Just allow Heroku to absorb what he can. And if Heroku goes down, then hopefully by that time there will be enough of the drones down that we can somehow pull this off. Like, I'm amazed that this is going so well. Like, I just thought with those dice that the drones get that this would be over very quickly, but we're somehow holding on. Okay, so now there's a chance for initiative for Iskar. Well, actually, no, I don't even have to roll because Iskar is the last one to go. All the drones have gone. So it's our turn now. So he's rolling his 3 dice for combat with his sidearm. Hiya. That dice went went awry. And it doesn't matter because there's only, well, I guess I could roll double ones, but the critical failure in a combat just means you just miss. There's no chance of hitting. So that was it. For the turn, so let's clear off all the dice from them. Clear off the cubes from the board. So everything is reset. So this is the position now. As we go into turn 3, we have Heroku, bravely absorbing the fire of all the shots, and then Kroknuk and the rest are starting to gather around back here, trying to make their way around to a safer position. So my thought right now is I want, of course, to get Heroku up and around, try and take on that next one in hand-to-hand combat. That's definitely the most effective way to deal with these things, and the least dangerous is to tie them up in hand-to-hand. But the problem is if I start moving him, if he's out of line of sight of those two, which is kind of what I'm aiming for as well, then they can see Kroknuk and Iskar, so these two down here, which means then that they will get cover, but they're only getting like an equivalent of 4 armor as opposed to Heroku, who's getting an equivalent of 8 because he's got the 4 from his armor jacket, 2 because it's been tooled up by the armor tuning of the scientists to 6, plus 2 more for the cover that he's benefiting from. So it's worked this far. I mean, I can't believe that it's going to hold out forever, but I think I just need to take at least the first little bit of the turn to get these other 2 out of line of sight, and then he can make his move. So let's do that. Let's get the leader going first because, hey, he's the leader. So we will just simply, let me measure this out. So he's just going to take a basic movement, just come from that side to that side, with the idea that he's not going to shoot anything because he doesn't have line of sight to anything, but by the same token, nothing has line of sight to him. And that's the way, he likes it. Okay, so do we have initiative? We do not. So closest is the one down here. We'll shoot at Heroku. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 5, 5, 8, 12, 11, 9. Again, a lot of odd numbers in there. Like, it's crazy. But we have 2 hits, an 8 and a 12. Luckily, there wasn't a second 12, because that could have been very bad. And that's what I'm afraid of, too. I mean, with all the dice they're rolling, it's only a matter of time before they start rolling crits. So 2 hits. Heroku has a combat of 4. And he gets only 1 success. So he's potentially taking damage. However, he does have combat specialists and can reroll 2 of them. So I'll put that 4 over there, reroll 2, and I get a 2 and a 6. So he's taken no damage. And just put a cube on him to indicate he's done. So next up is Kroknuk. In the same spirit of bravery and machismo, he's going to come hiding back here with the others, and that will be his turn. Roll for initiative, and 8. We have initiative. Okay, so did some lining up of things just to check lines of sight and stuff. So what I did, I put the guard drone down here to indicate where I want Heroku to run to. So he's going to leave a spot there and come into there to just gain some cover still from the other 2 who can... sorry, I accidentally took the one off the top here. So, yeah, so there's one there, and one down there. So Heroku's going to come there, and he's able to shoot up at that one on the bridge. So he's getting 4 for his combat, and he rolls 4, 10, 3. Okay, so he can, well, might as well reroll those 2. 2 and 2. Which would have been a great roll if it was these guys didn't have armor, but they have armor. So I just double checked something. I'm not going to go back and redo it all, but I mean, I'm supposed to be getting +2 dice when using a sidearm. So I'll do it for Heroku's turn now. And yeah, so he still nothing. Okay, but I have to remember that because I've been cheating myself for all the shots I've been taking. I thought, man, 3 dice against these guys is nigh impossible. Well, still not great, but better than what I've been doing. Okay, so now for the initiative roll, well, it'll be a 10 plus now, and it's a no. So from there, I will do Juliet. Juliet will fire down at Heroku. Oh, pop off the railing there. This is well, you know what? Leave it there. That's thematic. This old place is falling apart. So Juliet firing down Heroku, and I, again, looking at that, I wanted to make sure that the line of sight was partially blocked, so there is cover for Heroku, maintaining that 8 armor, which has been so vital. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And okay, I always get scared when I start off. The first dice I saw was a 12. So then we have 1, 2, 3 hits. Then we have a 6, a 9, a 2, a 5, a 5. So we have 3 hits, and Roku then gets 4 dice to resist. 3, 4, and that's caught. 3 evens is no damage. Roku is an absolute tank. Iskar and Kroknuk have gone. So now it's going to be a case of just running for cover. Well, actually, now that Juliet has gone too, we don't need to worry so much because Juliet could have just stepped back to get a shot at, speaking of ancient centuries, this is my 19-year-old cat. Yeah, so now that Juliet is shot, I can run these guys across safely. Okay, so Grioki has run across. Looking to make some cover behind those crates. And then we have a 7 plus. Nope. So the last one will shoot. We'll come here. Heroku is still the closest, and based on what I looked down for line of sight, the railing here is cutting out a large portion, giving him cover. Whoops. The roll says... okay, again, without the armor, this would be a deadly roll, but the 2, the 4 don't count, the 4 doesn't count, the 7 is odd, the 6 doesn't count, the 1 doesn't count, and so you have a 10 and a 12. So only 2 hits. So that's 2 hits, and here's an armor of 4. And we have 2 saves, 6 and a 4. So that's Roku being the champ again. And that's all the drones. So it's just going to be a case now of running the others. So again, running and running. So those 2 are just running along there. And these 2 were the first to start. So that's everyone. So everyone has gone, as indicated by my little tracking sheet there. The nerds are running across, trying to find a good spot to hide and let Heroku do his job. Okay, so on to turn 4. I have to keep better track. Okay, so judging by line of sight, the top one there, King of the Castle, has line of sight to Oguna. So we are going to definitely activate Oguna first, the defenseless one, to just run around back here and get completely out of line of sight. And then we'll look to a 7 plus for initiative and get an 11. So then Deirak here has also some potential to get into line of sight if they adjust a little bit. So Da'irak, we'll just join Aguna back there. And now it's a 10 plus for initiative. That's a no. So, let me clear the cubes. Boom. Boom. And I'll leave that one on down there because that's still... Oh, I don't know. Which one's closer? Hold, please. Okay, so yeah, Juliet is slightly closer. So I'll just move this cube from here back up to Juliet, who will then fire down at Oguna. So then we have 3, 3, 1 are misses. 7's a miss. 11's a miss. 4 is a miss. 2 is a miss. So we have a 12. That's it. Just one. So then Roku rolls, and yeah, it gets 2 successes, so no damage taken. So I pre-measured and moved Iskar right over to there to give him some protection, line of sight wise, from the drones up there. And now we are going to roll for initiative, and no, we do not get initiative. So then we're going to so now we're going to do Kaladin over here. We'll call him Kaladin, the bridge boy. And he is going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 at Roku. And he gets, critical failure. So the only thing that can stop a critical failure is a critical success, but there isn't even that. So this is just, the shot is missed completely. No damage done. Okay, so we've seen a critical hit and a critical fail. And it's been on the right sides. No critical fails for me, please. Yeah, actually, that's good now, because what we'll do, because Kroknak's in a good place, can't be seen, and Kaladin is shot, Juliet is shot, so it's really just this is the chance for Heroku to make his move. Hold, please. So Heroku, with 8 movement, was able to run around and up the stairs, and is now up in Kaladin's face. So if either of those two were able to shoot, he'd be wide open, but the only one left to shoot is King up there of the castle, and King has nobody to shoot at. Or so I thought. King actually can see these guys' heads sticking out the top there. Stupid nerd. So, gonna get a pot shot off at him. Iskar is getting... When you have no armor to begin with, like Iskar doesn't, you do get a 4 armor as a default when you have cover. So, let's see. So we have we have 2 12s. Yikes. So he's getting a crit hit. But other than that, the 2 is ignored. The 2 5s are fail, 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 fail. All he has, because the 2 fails because of the cover. So the 2 12s hit. So that is a 4 hits, unfortunately, because of the crit. Right? Every hit counts as double. But now all that can save him is if he rolls 2 12s. And he does not. So it's 4 damage. But his oh no, he has a shield drone with this that only saves a 4 or less. So that's it. He's down. So the captain is down. Yeah, that's what you get for when the captain tries to take on the role of the soldier. He gets shot in the head. Well, he's got that big cranium too, so it's a hard target to miss. Then the last one to go is Kroknak. So Kroknak is... Kroknak's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm staying right here. Running around for what, really? I mean... Yeah, there was actually no point to that. Oh well. Live and learn. So, on to turn 5. So, it will be of surprise to no one, I'm sure, to say that Heroku is going to charge that drone in here. So he's charging straight into there. So Heroku gets 4 dice plus 2 for his melee weapon and combat specialist. So he rolls. Oh, wow, he did it again! 2 12s. That's crazy. Batter up. So unfortunately, there's nothing else. The 9s all miss. The 6 misses because it's a 8+ armor on these guys. And the 2s are also going to miss. So that's 4 damage to this thing. Takes it down to half. Oh, actually 3. Unless it can roll a save. 1, 2. Not save. Sorry, it's rolling combat. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1 for its hand-to-hand combat weapon. That's a plus 5. And no, even though it rolled a bunch of successes in there, it was still. It had to roll 2 12s to counteract that critical hit there. So it's taking 3 damage. So I will take this D8 here, and I'll put a 5. Oops. I'll just put a 5 next to Calvin on the ground there. So Calvin has 5 left. Okay. So now, do we maintain initiative? That's a 1, so that's a no. It didn't in the tray, but you know what? It has to stay in the tray. 2. Still no. So it's onto the thing. So that would be then, obviously, the closest to an enemy is Kaladin over there. So Kaladin's going to try fight Heroku. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1 for close combat weapon for these things. Rolling 2 6 2. Yeah, it's 3 successes because it's a 12 8 6, and there's no cover anymore, so he only has an armor of 6 currently. So then Heroku's going to fight back with his 4 plus 2. And reroll the 1 for sure, because if I roll another 1, it's going to turn it all into. So yeah, that's Heroku taking 1 damage because Heroku only got 2 successes, the 12 and the 8, and the enemy did 3 successes. So that's 1 damage to Heroku. I'll mark that on the sheet here. Heroku, 3 life left. Okay, back to the scientists. We're literally just going to pass the turn because it's really up to Heroku here, and until we get down to like maybe 2, we can try and start lending in. But right now the situation is much to our advantage with everybody hiding. They can't shoot at anything. These 2 can't shoot down at Heroku. That one's already fought there, so Kaladin's already fought. So it's just those 2, and because they can't see anything, they're going to have to move closer, which means that so this one is going to make a double movement. Stand by. So for the rest of the scientists' turns, I just think it's really going to be a case of just waiting it out. Heroku is our best chance right now. The problem is that these 2 are going to start closing in pretty quickly, and we have to try and finish them off as fast as we can. What I think I should actually do is use Kroknuk, come to think of it, to fire up there. So Kroknuk, using the sidearm, has 3 combat, plus 2 for the sidearm. And, there's a 12, and the rest are all odd or too low, so nothing. All right, do we get initiative? We do. Do I want to do anything with that initiative is the question. Like I'm saying, I think I just want to pass it. Just be careful about putting people into line of sight positions. Don't want to end up like Iskar. So yeah, so that means then we're going to pass the turn. So let me just pause and measure this out. Okay, so measuring it out, King will go here, down and right over to here. The point being is that you have to come into here, down some stairs in there, and then you come out the door where Heroku is. Right? And that will be how they'll be able to engage him. So back to the team science, we have. So yeah, like I said, we're just gonna pass the turn at this point. So which means that Juliet is gonna come running over towards Heroku. Okay, so in looking at it, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put Juliet up here now. Not because Juliet's on top of the building, because that would be silly. King just came down. But Juliet has actually gone through the door, down the stairs, and is now seeing Heroku through the doorway. Did use too much of her movement, though, to get into a spot where she could see him, so she will not be able to shoot him this turn. And that is going to conclude turn number 5. So let's go on to turn number 6. Okay, first thing we have to do is Heroku is just going to do a combat dance here. Kind of spin around to the other side. Get out of the doorway. You know, don't want that other drone coming in and trying to shoot me. That's not nice. So into there and attacking. Okay, so the Heroku rolling up against the thing. So we have 4 standard, 2 for a combat weapon, and we roll like crap. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, and then the drone replies, 1 less dice than Heroku gets. Oh, wait, sorry. Absolutely nothing, but Heroku does get... Still, okay, I rolled 2 more for Heroku, still nothing. And so the drone then gets... Okay, so the drone gets 1. So that is 1 more damage to Heroku. He's down to 2 life. He's half dead. They're both half dead. Well, actually, no. Heroku's a little worse off now because the drone has 5 out of 8. Heroku only has 4 out of 8. 2 out of 4. So, drone's a little bit more than 50%. So, we will then see if we maintain initiative, which we do. So, Kroknuk will shoot the drone. So, that'll be 5 dice because I'm remembering the +2 bonus for the sidearms now. And, ooh, I actually get 3 hits. Wow. That's a first. So that's a combat of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so, yeah, that's 2 saves, and it saves 1 for the shield, so nothing. Like I said, these things are just nigh on impossible. This is just frustration, pure frustration. 10 plus. No, so then the drone is going to fight Heroku. It rolls first, so it's rolling 4 dice plus 1 for its close combat weapon. It gets 1, 2, 3 hits, and then Heroku gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 for his combat weapon, and he gets another doubles. He gets another not doubles, another crit hit. So that's crit, and he's going to reroll the 11 and the 7. Okay, so this is he's already hit. Oh, and another 12. Okay, so that's 3, so that's 6 damage to the robot's 1, so that's 5 damage. And so he's done 4, so, Kaladin is down to 1 hit point. Take that, Kaladin. So, the trick to hurting somebody in close combat is let them try and hit you during their turn. So that's interesting. So now it's scientist's turn. So I guess what we can do, we'll have to take the chance now. We'll pull Grioki out to there to take that shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All I need is one more to down that drone. 8. No, he's done nothing. Okay, then Juliet will come out. So, well, actually, you know what? Stupid Grioki. Juliet's going to come out, and because Kaladin is still alive and blocking Heroku, just going to take a shot down at Grioki. We'll get blocked by the railing and everything there, so that'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing a dice. 8. So that is going to be, yeah. So he gets an armor of 4 for the cover, and oh, lucky Grioki, 3 ones even. So that is a complete and utter miss. Wow, lucky Grioki. And Kroknak is shot. Do I risk somebody else? I don't think so. I think we're going to leave it there, and then that just means that we're going to let King will come in 5, and he'll just come running out the door here. So we have all 3 of the sentries lined up. Too bad we didn't have some kind of big area of effect weapon that could just do something real good to them. But that's it. We're on to turn 7. I have to get a different dice for the turn marker. Okay, I think lucky Grioki is going to push his luck a little further, hide there, and shoot up at Kaladin with the 1 wound remaining. If we can take out Kaladin, then Heroku can start working on one of those other ones. So that's 3 dice for his 3 combat plus 2 for sidearm. And that's a lot of nothing. There's 1 potential hit, but again, they have that shield that blocks 1 automatic hit every turn, so that's useless. Do we maintain initiative? We do. I'm going to take it, because right now Kaladin's going to have to fight Heroku, and that might work out well to our advantage. So let's... But then if I shoot Kaladin, then Juliet or something. So you know what? Kroknak is going to shoot. That's Juliet who just came out. Shoot the drone in the middle there. Shoot middle drone. They've lost their names now. They're just they're faceless beings to me. So we roll. We get only 1 hit. So nothing. So that's Kroknak and Grioki. All right. Do we maintain initiative on a 10? We do. This is getting a bit interesting now. I wish there was some way I could revive my poor leader. Medic. Okay, I'm going to pass the turn. So let Kaladin do his thing. So that'll be, we'll let Aguna pass the turn. And so now it's Kaladin attacking. So he has 4 combat plus 1 for the claw. And rolls 2 hits. So you get 2 hits from Kaladin. Then Heroku gets 4 combat plus 2 plus combat advantage. Gets 1 hit, but is able to reroll 2 dice. And that's caught. So 2. So it's a draw. 2 apiece. So no damage done. So back to my turn. Yeah. I think Heroku just has to do it. He has to try to finish this guy off. So he rolls and gets 1 piddly hit. And still 1 piddly hit. And oh, 1 piddly hit, but 1 piddly hit back from the drone, so it's a draw. No damage done. So back to the do we have initiative? No. So the drones are going. So at this point, what do? Closest target is right over there. Well, you know what? I've been shooting them. They've been shooting me. So we'll move this one over like this. Closest one is Heroku. So just come around there and fire. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and no cover. So that's another crit fail. Another crit fail. Not that the hit was fantastic anyway. Actually, there was 3 ones there. There was only 1 hit out of all of that. So yeah, survived that one. I can't shoot because everything has cover. There's no way I'm gonna do anything. So I'm just gonna pass the turn. And that would mean then that the last one will fire Heroku again. So we have King or Juliet, whoever it is, firing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 4 hits. This could be it for Heroku. 3, 4. He saves 2, takes 2 damage. Heroku is down. Yeah, there's no way the rest of these nerds are going to take on 2 of those sentries. You know, Heroku was my only chance. He almost took out 2 single-handedly. The others did absolutely nothing. So at this point, the rules don't really allow for anything like retreat or something. But I'm going to say they just boot it. I don't get the rewards. The reward was pretty good if I could. Yeah, you can harvest a fusion cannon from one of the droids, but I'm not going to do that because we're running for it. We're legging it. And we're just going to have to suffer at this point, I don't want this to drag on any further in terms of the game. And it is just going to drag on. That I really stand no chance now. And I'll just suffer the injuries for the 2 who have fallen, right? And move on to the next mission. So let's have a look then at the post game. So now we come to the very unfavorable part of the mission where you have to look at what happens for the injuries of the team. During the game, Iskar, the leader, and Heroku, the soldier, had gone down fighting the very one-sided battle. Iskar was actually foolish. I thought he was safe, but when I did some line-of-sight check, his head was showing. His big head was showing, and he got shot and killed, or injured anyway. And Heroku went down fighting the things bravely and hand-to-hand and just got overwhelmed, as we feared he might. So it's, but then there's also just no rules for what to do in the case of the others. I mean, there was no option for me to surrender, no option for me to concede. So I stopped the video because I didn't want to have to drag that out because it was obviously the end was inevitable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll for everybody. I'm going to roll for everybody on the team and see what happened to them. So we'll start off with Iskar, and he rolled a 5. Worse for wear. He lives, but his permanently reduces all stats by 1. All right, the leader is just a mess. And Heroku, the soldier, he 14, full recovery. Okay, he's tough. He survived it. And then we'll go on to the chief scientist, Kroknuk. And we get a 19. 19 is recovery time. The crew member will live but may not participate in the next challenge. It may participate in future challenges as normal. Okay, well, now I peeked at the next challenge already, and I know I'm going to need the chem suit. So while he's recovering, we're borrowing that suit. No questions. Then Oguna. Oguna is 16 full recovery. And Dairak. Dairak would have been hunted down by those drones, and he is a 16 full recovery. And then we have, finally, we have Grioki. Grioki is a 6, so he's dead and gone. So Grioki has died. Iskar, and the two of the same race are the ones who actually got hurt. Oh, maybe they're just like a more fragile race. So the Iskar, the leader, is 1 less in all his stats. And the Kroknuk is missing next game. And everybody else survived and got off okay, except for Grioki, who is dead. So we're down to 5 team members now, and well, I guess so. Oof. Now, yeah, these cars. Okay, well, it is what it is, right? So as I said, I know the next mission is. So there was no choice with that last mission. Leaving the bunker, mission 13. Coming over here. Yeah, so it says ending the challenge. We go to secure door challenge 14. There's no choice. So the challenge ends when all guard droids have been defeated. There's a single secure door. So I mean that could even just be that my mission, my Space Station Zero adventure ends there. I'd like to think not. Maybe the drones kind of left us for dead and we crawled away. Anyway, so we're going on. We're going to move on from here, and I guess we're dragging Kroknuk along in some sort of sled or something to prevent him from walking. So he's resting right now. But it's a barracks challenge, so starting here, and the obstacles, we have a gas leak, and then sealed doors on the other side. So at least there's no combat. I mean, that's good, because combat's not exactly been our strong strength. Yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. And hope you're enjoying this Space Station Zero adventure. Until next time, I'm your host, Craig Thompson Wood, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.